SANDHAN, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Today we are going to study about metamorphosis, which are different types of metamorphosis, ectasis, and its hormonal regulations. So today we are going to study about different types of metamorphosis, mainly concerned with insect. So first we will study about what are different type of insect, definition of insect. So insect, it is an invertebrate arthropod having jointed appendages, and its body is divided into three regions, that is head, thorax and abdomen. So invertebrate arthropod, name itself indicate it is not having any kind of backbone. Arthropod means, arthro means jointed and podus means appendages. So name itself indicate they are having jointed appendages. Body is divided into three regions. First head, thorax and abdomen. Again, head is made up of 6 segments. Thorax is made up of 3 segments, that is prothorax, mesothorax and metathorax. As well as abdomen, it is made up of different 11 segments, and each segment of abdomen is known as uromeres. They possess a pair of sensory antennae, 1 or 2 pairs of wings and 3 pairs of legs in their adult stage. So metamorphosis, it is mainly divided into 2 phases. First phase is inside embryo, means inside the eggs, and second is outside the egg. So the science which deals with growth and development within the egg, it is termed as embryology. Development from egg to adult is a continuous process, but the development and growth within the egg stage is included in the branch of embryology. Development and growth outside the egg to become adult is post-embryonic development. Metamorphosis, definition of metamorphosis, it is a series of developmental changes taking place during the life of an insect from egg to adult is collectively known as metamorphosis. So which are different types of metamorphosis? Mainly insects are divided into 2 categories, ametabolous insect and metabolous insect. Ametabolous insect are those insects which do not undergo any kind of metamorphosis, where in case of metabolous insect, they undergo metamorphosis, and again they are divided into 2 subcategories. First hemimetabolous and second holometabolous insect. So there is one special case, that is anamorphic development, also called as anamorphosis. It is the progressive addition of abdominal segments during the development. During the course of development, abdominal segments are added anterior to the telson and reach to a total of 12 in the adult. For example, protura. As well as I already said that there are total 11 segments. They are known as uromere in abdomen. So 1 segment per mold is added in proturan. Anamorphosis occurs during course of development in order protura, and no any other orders are having this type of metamorphosis. Next, metabolous type of development, ametabolous type of development, no metamorphosis. This insect do not undergo any kind of metamorphosis. The adult form results from the nymph, which resemble the adult except for its small in size, and genitalia, that is reproductive organs, are underdeveloped. At each mold, the larva increases in size and the genitalia develops further. These are wingless throughout their life cycle, for example, silverfish and springtails. Metabolous type of reproduction. They undergo metamorphosis from egg to adult stage. The growing or immature stage is known as larva in case of complete metamorphosis, and a nymph in case of incomplete metamorphosis. They pass through 3 or 4 distinct stages. The metabolous insect are divided into 2 subgroups. First group is hemimetabolous insect. It is also known as incomplete or simple metamorphosis. The immature stage, popularly known as nymph, it resembles to adult, but they are having lack of wings and reproductive organs. Food habits of adult and nymph are very similar. In such insect, wings develop externally. In insect where wings develop externally, they are known as exopterygota. Exo means externally and pteri means wing. Means when wings develop externally, they are known as exopterygotans. They passes through 3 stages, first egg, second nymph and third adult. For example, bugs, grasshopper, crickets, termites, mantids, dragonflies and louse. Second is holometapellos type of insect. Complete metamorphosis, it is also known as complex metamorphosis. The immature stages is popularly known as larva. It does not resemble to their parents. There is a pupal stage between last larval instar and the adult. In such insect, wings develop internally. Where wings develop internally, the insects are known as endopterygotans. They passes through 4 life stages, that is egg, larva, pupa and adult. The larva and adult have different habitats and habits. For example, antlion, moths, butterflies, beetles, weevils, wasps, flies, housefly and honeybees. So before going to next type of metamorphosis, we should know which are different types of immature stages and which are different types of larva and which are different types of pupa. So larva, it is a type of immature stage between egg and pupa restricted to insect in which there is complete metamorphosis. It is completely differing from adult. There is a feeding and active stage of the life cycle of complete metamorphosis. Second, nymph. It is a form of immature stage in incomplete metamorphosis. The immature resemble to the adult, but wings and genital organ, that is reproductive organs, are underdeveloped or absent. For example, bugs, whitefly, jacid, grasshoppers and cockroaches. Nates, generally it is also hemimetabolous insect. They are aquatic in nature, but adults are terrestrial. They resemble to the adults, but they respire through gills, just like fish. For example, dragonflies. Pupa, it is a form of immature stage between larva and adult. It is restricted to insect which undergo complete metamorphosis. It is non-feeding and usually non-active stage of insect life cycle. It is also termed as chrysalis in butterflies and tumblers in mosquitoes. So which are different types of larva? The first type of larva is protopod type of larva. There is no segmentation in abdomen. Cephalic means head and thoracic appendages are rudimentary, means they are underdeveloped. For example, parasitic hymenopterans. Second type of larva is apodous type of larva. The legs are absent and the head is not fully developed. Such larvae are known as maggots. For example, Dipteran order. Third category is oligopod larva. The larvae bear few pair of legs. They are classified in 4 types: carabiform, scarabiform, compodiform and elateriform. So carabiform larva, the body is dorsoventrally flat and bear 3 pairs of thoracic legs which are short. For example, order Coleoptera, family Carabidae. Scarabiform larva, the legs are well developed and body is typically C-shaped or U-shaped and generally called as grub. For example, Scarabidae family, order Coleoptera. Third larva is compodiform larva, where body is dorsoventrally flat, legs are long, and abdomen bears a pair of cerci or caudal process. For example, order Trichoptera, Neuroptera, and order Coleoptera, especially family Coccinellidae. Elateriform larva, the body is cylindrical, hard, and bears 3 pairs of thoracic legs. For example, Elateridae family, order Coleoptera. Fourth category is polypod larva. They bear many pair of legs and are classified based on number and position of prolegs. Now question arises, what is prolegs? So prolegs are those legs which are present on abdomen. And again, the larva is categorized into 3 categories: caterpillar, semilooper and looper. Caterpillar, it is the first type of larva. It has 3 pair of thoracic leg and 5 pairs of prolegs. Prolegs are situated on 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 10th abdominal segment. For example, Lepidoptera. Semilooper, it has 3 pair of thoracic leg and 3 or 4 pair of prolegs present in 4th, 5th, 6th and 10th abdominal segments. Looper, it has 3 pair of thoracic leg with 1 pair or 2 pair of prolegs on 6th and 10th abdominal segments. For example, semilooper and looper, Lepidoptera. Types of pupa. Pupa is inactive stage of complete life cycle. First type of pupa is optic type of pupa. The appendages like legs, antenna and wings are glued to the body. For example, Lepidoptera, especially Spodoptera, Gujarat hairy caterpillar, Helicoverpa, these are having this optic type of pupa. The silken protective case of optic pupa is called cocoon. Exurate type of pupa. The appendages like legs, antenna, wings lie free and don't have any secondary attachment with the body. For example, Hymenoptera and Coleoptera. Especially in case of ants and honeybee, you will find exurate type of pupa. Corrected type of pupa, when an exudate type of pupa is enclosed in a puparium called corrected type of pupa, and this type of pupa you will find in case of Diptera order. So special type of metamorphosis, that is hypermetamorphosis. In most endopteran goats, the larval instars are more or less alike. However, in some insect species, for example, Neuroptera, Coleoptera, Diptera, Hymenoptera, and all kind of Strepsiptera, a larva undergoes characteristic changes in habit and morphology as it grows. A phenomenon is known as heteromorphosis or hypermetamorphosis. In Coleoptera blister beetle, they hatch as a free-living compodiform larva that actively search for food, for example, grasshopper eggs. At this stage, when they find food, the larva can survive for periods of several weeks without food. Larvae that locate food soon molt into second stage and may be caterpillar-like larvae. In this case, one or more larval instars are distinctly different from one another. The insect then passes through two or more additional larval instars, which may remain erosiform or become scarabiform. Some species overwinters in a modified larval form known as pseudopupa or corrected larva because the larva remains within the cuticle of previous instar. In Neuroptera, first larval instar is compodiform while other instars are erosiform. So some common name of immature stages of different insect. Nymph of dragonfly and mayfly are known as nade. We can say immature stages of grasshopper, cockroach, termites as nymph. The larvae of dipteran are known as maggots. Larvae of mosquitoes are known as wrigglers. Larvae of flag insects are known as crawlers. Larvae of beetles are known as grub. And larvae of moths and butterfly, we can generally call them caterpillar. Next is polymetabola or polyembryony. Mitotic divisions of an egg result in development of several embryos from single egg. So, from a single egg, more than one larva will hatch out and develop into number of adults, and hence metamorphosis is called polymetamorphosis. It is found in parasitic Hymenoptera. It is restricted predominantly to parasitic insects only. Nutrition for a large number of developing embryos cannot be supplied with the original egg, and it is acquired from the host hemolymph. Hemolymph, it is a blood of insect through a specialized enveloping membrane called trophnion. Typically, the embryos develop into larvae. When the host molt into its final instar, this larva consume the host insect before pupating and emerging as adult wasp. For example, Platygestra oryzae. It is a larval parasitoid of rice goldfinch. Exceptional cases in metamorphosis. In some hemimetabolous, nymph bear a provisional and adaptive structure due to their aquatic life and differ largely morphologically and in habitat. So first exceptional cases, dragonfly order Odonata. Nymph is aquatic, predatory, or and feed on aquatic organisms, extended prehensile labium, rectal gill, and differ morphologically to a greater extent. Adults are terrestrial, aerial, and feed on flying insect and do not possess above parts. It undergoes considerable morphological changes, that is, loss of rectal gill, restructuring of labium, and other morphological and anatomical changes during transformation from nymph to adult. Dragonfly nymph is termed as nade. Stoneflies order Plecoptera. Nymph is aquatic, herbivorous, and carnivorous, possess tracheal gills. Adults are terrestrial, aerial, and possess no gills. Third is mayfly. It belongs to order Ephemeroptera. Nymphs are aquatic while adults are terrestrial, aerial, and possess no gills. The last instar is winged. It is generally called subimago or subadult stage and identical to adult stage except it lacks in functional genitalia. Whiteflies, though it is hemipterous insect, its metamorphosis approach the holometabolous type, which is an exceptional case in this family, that is Allurodi family. The egg hatch into nymph. With the first molt, they lose their leg, antenna, and get fixed themselves to the leaf and suck the cells up. After undergoing 4 molts, it becomes quiescent like a pupa. It is known as pseudopupa, from which the adult will emerge. Next example is millibug. It also belongs to Hemiptera order or Homoptera order. It belongs to Coccidae family. In this case, female is wingless while male is winged. Metamorphosis is complete in male and incomplete in female. In male, adult stage is preceded by a short pre-pupal or pupal period for a few days, while the female transforms into adult directly. Thrips, it belongs to order Thysanoptera. It is the only example of Thysanoptera order, that is thrips. Even though it is an exopteric goat, it passed through a quiescent pupa stage preceded by a prepupal stage, while full-grown nymphs drop into the soil and pupate in soil, and after that adult will emerge. So next topic is molting. But before studying the molting, we should first understand insect integument. So insect integument is made up of cuticle, epidermal cells and basement membrane. So starting with cuticle, which are different function of cuticle. Cuticle, it acts as an exoskeleton, providing support to the body and its organ. It provides a shape and structure of the body. Muscles are also attached to the cuticle to facilitate various types of body movements. Cuticle invigilates and provides support to internal organs through muscle attachment. Wing movements are possible only because of presence of hard cuticular flight sclerites and thoracic region. The wax layer of epicuticle provides some mechanism of conservation of water in terrestrial insects. It also secretes material over cuticular surface in some insects and acts as a bactericidal and protect the insect from surface infection. Epithelium of a fore and hindgut, it is a part of digestive system, is also protected by cuticular intima. Various parts of cuticle are modified to form some sense organ. Certain pigments present in a cuticle gives a different coloration to the insect. Cuticle is again divided into two subcategories, epicuticle and procuticle. Epicuticle is again made up of 4 layers, cement layer, wax layer, polyphenol layer and cuticulin layer. So which are different function of cement layer? Cement layer protect the underlying wax layer, contain antifungal components, prevents water loss from the body. Next layer is wax layer. It serves as a water